Today I'm going to show you how to make soil for your square foot gardening bed. I'm going to show you the ingredients mix. We're going to mix the 3 ingredients for Mel's mix, and I'm going to talk about some other amendments that you can put into Mel's mix. So let's get going. We're going to make some great soil for our square foot gardening beds today. Soil for the square foot garden is named Mel's mix, and of course that's named after Mel Bartholomew, the founder of Square Foot Gardening. There's only 3 ingredients required for traditional square foot gardening. First thing is peat moss, second thing is vermiculite, third thing is compost. That's it, 3 ingredients. But it does get a little tricky because vermiculite is supposed to be coarse vermiculite, and coarse vermiculite is sometimes hard to source. So I'm going to go ahead and put some Amazon affiliate links down in the description so that if you can't find anything locally or you just want to order from your house, you can't get out of your house right now maybe, you can go ahead and order from Amazon. My Lowe's store did have it at one point, but last time I went in there they were out. So what you can replace vermiculite with is perlite. It's basically the same thing. And I got a bag of this, 8 quarts worth. Got this at Lowe's and it was about $5. And this is the white stuff. Let me open it and I'll show you. This is the white stuff. If you can see that. It's the white stuff that is in potting mixes, professional potting mixes, like in the nurseries and stuff. They use this a lot. And what it is, it's a volcanic rock that they heat up and it explodes like popcorn, I guess. And it makes this nice product that holds the water and it loosens up the soil. Okay, second ingredient is peat moss. So you can buy peat moss in big, huge bales, or you can buy it in little bags like this as well. And since we're just getting started with a single square foot, I went ahead and got it in another 8-quart bag. So that's 8 quarts of perlite, 8 quarts of peat moss. Now, one thing about peat moss is that some people don't like it because it's not a renewable resource. So another thing that you can use alternatively for peat moss is coconut coir. And I love coconut coir. You can buy it in a little block. I don't think I've ever seen that locally either. So again, Amazon affiliate link in the description. But it's a block, and it's actually the coconut husk that they peel off when they do the coconuts. And it's all compressed in a tight little bale. And what you do is you put it in a bucket or a wheelbarrow with warm or even hot water, and then it'll soak into there and loosen up, and it becomes a nice crumbly mix. It's real similar to peat moss, the way it looks when you're done. So that's ingredient number 2. So ingredient number 3 is compost. But by saying there's only 3 ingredients, it is a little bit misleading because it's actually, the third ingredient is blended compost. The reason Mel wants you to blend the compost, and I think it's a good idea too, is because like if you get mushroom compost, sometimes it's maybe depleted of minerals more than other kinds, or if you get different kinds of compost, they might be depleted of different nutrients. So it's a good idea to go ahead and blend them so you're going to have more of a balanced mix of nutrients, because the compost is the most important part of this mix, really, because that's what's going to feed the plant. The other 2 ingredients, the peat moss and the vermiculite, are inert, and they're just going to be there to loosen up the soil and help the roots stay loose, help the soil stay loose. The compost is what's going to really help it grow. In light of that, I do recommend using some fertilizer with a bed like this. So what I do is I get an OMRI listed fertilizer, and I'll use that according to the package directions in my square foot beds. So here's what I'm talking about is an OMRI listed fertilizer. So OMRI is just, it means it's okay to grow with organic stuff. This I got off a sales rack for 25% off last fall, so that was awesome. And this can really help make your soil into better soil to be able to grow things better. This says organically based, OMRI listed, aerobically composted for enhanced quality, feeds the soil and adds calcium for improved yield and bigger plants. All right, let's get started mixing. You can use a bucket, but for the quantities that I'm doing, I'm gonna go ahead and use my wheelbarrow. You could put it out on concrete to mix it. You could, I've seen some people put it on a tarp to mix it. It's all good. Okay, so let's mix the peat moss and the perlite first. Okay, now I'm gonna go get some compost. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna use one of these bags and put my compost in there so I'll have the third part of my 3-part mix. All right, here we go. Be right back. Now we're gonna add the compost. I got this compost from my garden, so it might be a little chunky. I can actually throw out some of the chunks as we go here. Got a lot of avocado seeds that might not be fully composted. Lots of bugs and lots of worms, but it does have some sticks and stuff too, so I like to throw those out. Sometimes commercial compost comes with a bunch of sticks and stuff in it too, so it's not a bad idea to run it through like a 1/4 inch of that hardware cloth, the mesh type of like fencing stuff, to make sure you get all the big clumps out. This is actually compost from my vermicomposting, worm composting bin, so there's quite a few worms in there. That compost did have a bit of moisture to it, which is good because we need to have some moisture in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the hose and moisten this down. Oh wait, before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and add my fertilizer. Okay, so I'm gonna put it on shower, and I like to wet down the top a little bit and then stir it in, and then wet it down again, stir it in again. Make sure everything gets moistened evenly. Okay, so what we're looking for is a mix that has a fair amount of water. You can actually feel the water as you squish it, and you can hear the water. You can hear the water as you squish it, and a little bit of water might even come out if you squeeze it super hard. But it crumbles up nice and crumbly right as soon as you're done with that. So this is perfect. So let's go ahead and fill up our bed. Doesn't it look like nice commercial type of potting mix? That's all there is to it. You can actually use this soil for square foot beds. You can use it for a raised bed. Sometimes I'll pull aside my wood chips, my covering of my garden, and put my seeds down and put this mix right on top of my seeds to give the seeds a really great start. Let me know in the comments below how your square foot garden is going and what is your favorite things to grow in your square foot garden. So I'll leave a link up here to my square foot gardening video playlist, and over here I'll leave a link to a video that Google says you will like. Thanks for watching. Have a blessed day. See you again real soon.